Another day, another beer review, and this is a new style. This is a Weizen Beer, and this is from the Beer 52 box. But does it taste any good? Let's check out the review to find out. Are you ready to rock? Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to be reviewing this beer. This is from the Buro Brewery. It's a Weizen Beer. It's coming in at 5.3%. This is from the Beer 52 box, obviously Oktoberfest. It's another German beer. This is from FLAVOUR. Again, I tried to pronounce that last time we had a beer from the same brewery, and I hope I made a better attempt that time. I'm not going to try again. So let's get this beer out of the bottle and into a glass, shall we? So Weizen, which I think is Weizen, is that white? I don't know. It's a wheat. Well, I think it's a wheat beer actually. I think it's made with a lot of wheat. So apologies if I got that completely wrong. I didn't do much German at school, so my knowledge of the language is from poor to sort of always non-existent. So beer in a glass, nice and bright, and you can see the levels of carbonation there. Quite fizzy. It's got a slight cloudiness to it, but it's also, you know, it's not as cloudy as you would expect from sort of pale ales and IPAs, but it's not sort of completely clear like you would see in a Pilsner. We've got like a one finger, it's quite tightly compacted white head there, but you can see quite fast levels of carbonation. Let's get some aroma, shall we? Obviously it's got a lot of wheat in it. It's very bready, and I'm getting huge amounts of real doughy bread, brown bread, white bread, sour bread. And then there's that sort of very, very sort of floral sort of aroma as well. I must admit it's not really sort of ticking the boxes really. Those sort of bread and flowers basically, you know, that's pretty much what it smells like. There's also a slight hint of something like cloves or something like that, which, you know, again, is not really what I would expect in a beer. I'm going to go in. Cheers, everyone. Wish me luck. I'm a little bit scared at the moment. Yeah, taste-wise, it's similar. You've got that real breadiness, and you've got that sort of clovey. You've got that sort of spiciness of cloves, which is, cloves are a bit of a funny sort of thing really, you know, in terms of, I sort of associate a lot of that with like when you're feeling ill, that sort of thing, because you get it in a lot of medicines and throat sweets and things like that. It's got that sort of, that flavour in it. And it is got quite a high level of like flowery, floral sort of flavour to it as well. But it's not overpowering. It's quite crisp. There is a sort of underlying sort of citrusy sort of flavour to it. It's very, very high in carbonation though. It's very fizzy. It's very gassy. Yeah, there's a slight edge of bitterness. It's an interesting sort of style. Not really a style that I would sort of really be cheering on. Really, it's quite a sort of, you know, an individual palate sort of flavour. Yeah, I mean, I think that I think it's also quite yeasty. If yeast is that, I think the yeast is probably the thing that's given it that sort of flavour with the cloves, but yeasty, wheaty, bready, floury, you know, not the sort of, all the sort of flavours that we usually associate with a lot of beers that we review on this channel, but it's quite nice and refreshing, and it's not overpowering in those flavours. You get that hintness on the front end, but then they do fade away, melt away quite a lot to get a nice sort of crisp, refreshing, almost Pilsner-like flavour on the back end. It's not bad. I don't think I'd want to drink loads of it. And I think I've tasted enough to get some scores. So, let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for Weizen by Buro Brewery, based in Germany. I'm not going to try and pronounce the city again because it almost twists the tongue. Great artwork. We've had another one like this. Usually has this sort of cat. I mean, that's like a tiger on there. Then a little heart on the front. That's their sort of their logo. Very nice artwork there. So first things first, aroma. Now it's quite interesting, this aroma. And as I was doing the scores, I thought I had another smell of it, and there was something else in there. I mean, it's got a very wheaty, bready sort of smell with a little undertone of sort of cloves. Not really any fruit. But then the more I smelled it, I thought, that reminds me of something. What does that remind me of? I'd almost say that has a slight banana aroma. Yeah, it's a strange one in a beer. You probably would only hear this once on this channel where I say a beer smells like bananas, but it has a sort of banana-y sort of aroma. But it's very wheaty and bready, and they're the big sort of big aromas on there. But I think because it's got so much going on, it's quite interesting. I'm going to give it 13 out of 20 for aroma. Appearance, well, it's a nice looking beer. It's got a slight cloudiness to it. You can see the nice lace in the glass. Looks pretty good, nice and orange, or golden even. I'm giving it a solid 8 out of 10 for appearance. Flavour. It's an interesting one because when you first taste it, I mean, we've probably all had wheat beers like your Hobgarden and stuff like that. It's got that sort of flavour. It's very sort of bready and wheaty and that sort of that, and it's quite but it's quite light. Usually that can be quite heavy, but it's quite light. And even though that flavour comes in when you first taste it, it very quickly disappears to leave a very sort of crisp, almost lager type of a beer, and it makes it go down pretty well. There's a slight hint of bitterness, but not much. So it's quite a solid flavour. If you like wheaty type of beers, then I think it's a really good example of it. So I'm giving it 31 out of 40 for flavour. Value for money, again, free 30ml bottle from the Beer 52, so we're classing it as a £3 bottle of beer, 7 out of 10. And then overall experience, I mean, this is where the scores could differ depending on your real love of wheaty beers. Maybe you're a big Weizen fan. I mean, big wheat beer is your thing. If it is, it's a smashing beer for you. I think you like it. For me, I don't really like it that much, but I can't knock it down completely because it's not really for me. I wouldn't want to have another one. I don't think I'd want to try it again. I'm giving it a 10 out of 20. I think that's a reasonable score. So we top those scores up and we're getting a 69. It's the lowest score we've had, I think, this month for Beer 52. Still not too bad. It's a high Bon Jovi beer. So what is it going to be? It's going to be Dry County. I think that's a relatively apt song. It's one of my favourite Bon Jovi songs. It's a great epic from Keep the Faith. So why don't you keep the faith? If you like wheat beer, give this beer a try. And until the next one, keep on... Wait. If you're still here at the end of the video, waiting for the keep on rocking bit, you may have forgotten that if you comment and like on this video, you can win 8 bottles of beer from Beer 52. You get a golden ticket, and that gives you a case of beer. It could be light beers, light and dark beers, and you will get 8 beers absolutely free. All you need to do is like and comment on this video, and you'll be put in a draw, and the draw will take place at the beginning of 31st of October is the closing date. So 1st of November we'll be announcing 2 winners that are going to win a golden ticket. So you've got to be in it to win it. So put a comment down below. What do you think of Weizen Beer? What do you think of my pronunciation of it? Is it really that poor? Yes, I know it probably is. And until the next one, are you ready for it? Keep on rocking.